Welcome to Sisu and Slay by Horizon, a podcast where we untangle and make sense of how you can navigate Finland as an international professional through stories of building aligned career paths, successful integration, and experts who can give you a peek behind the structures of Finnish life and work. Today, we're talking about what it looks like to leave behind a whole identity, a scientific one, a lab coat, a very specific career ladder, and build something entirely new. We're talking community, entrepreneurship, and the kind of resilience you can only develop when the system around you wasn't exactly built with you in mind. So helping us get into all of that, we have Ala Benkeruf, a biomedical scientist, founder, community builder, and co-founder of The Splash.
Yay!
And The Splash is a gathering for early stage thinkers that's happening right here in Helsinki in August in partnership with Horizon. Welcome, Ala, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Love having you. And before we get into the whole, how did you build The Splash, we have to, of course, dive into your origin story because you're the main character.
Yes.
You have a background in biomedical science.
Yes.
So you have a master's degree, lab work, internships in Microsoft and Thermo Fisher. That's a very specific world. How did you end up here?
Good question. I think growing up, I've always thought that I had a clear path in my head. It's like, okay, go study something medical, go do research, do a PhD, graduate, and work in a company. So it was quite clear path that I thought that life works this way. But then somehow when I came to Finland, I feel like things started changing. And of course, the ecosystem's quite different here and very different than what I thought it was going to be. So I think after graduation from University of Turku, when I did my master's in biomedical imaging, and of course with the two jobs that I got before graduation, the one in Thermo Fisher and Microsoft, I was working still in my field, and but then I always felt like there was more. I've always felt like I was supposed to do more, but didn't really know how. So I just started working on smaller projects in different fields. I started exploring kind of my own interests as a human being instead of just focusing on the kind of my educational background, because of course you know how the job market was after COVID, no one could even find anything to even do. So I was like, how do I kind of pave my own path instead of kind of trying to go through the more traditional path. So after graduation, just did a couple of projects, social sciences. I had one project for youth as well with my friends. We applied for a grant from Solidarity Corps and we received it, and then we worked on it for a couple of months with youth under 18. We taught them how to do civic engagement. I also worked in mental health related projects. It was mostly things I was interested in and quite fun to do. I don't think we monetized it quite much, but it was just because it was a good learning experience for me at that time. And I think when I discovered that I really enjoy working on projects, I kind of started thinking what should I do next? Should I continue working on these small projects as a freelancer, or try to actually figure out how I can actually do more? Because I felt like I was meant to do more. I have a lot of skills that I should be using but didn't know how to use. So I somehow stumbled upon the entrepreneurship world in 2024. And I remember going into Pathways pre-incubator that was done by Helsinki Think Company and Helsinki Incubators in 2024, and going to the first session. And I went there with a friend. My friend came with me.
Your emotional support friend.
Emotional support, because I didn't know what was going to happen. I was like, this is a new world for me. I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. And it was someone who is doing a postdoc in the university in plant biology. So it's a very different world, kind of my previous world. But then I remember going to that session and it's my whole world just completely changed. I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. Because it was people who have kind of multidisciplinary backgrounds, academic backgrounds, but then also we're meant for more. We're building stuff. We're interested in businesses. And then that's when I started building stuff.
So is that the moment where you were like, okay, actually it's time to start over?
Yeah. basically. It was like just kind of something clicked in my head in that moment, and I was like, wait a damn minute. I don't know if you know the meme. Wait a damn minute. So it's like I had that moment when I went to that session, and then since then it's just been like the snowball effect, like just different kinds of stuff happening, and just me doing the leap of faith kind of thing, where I'm just like going into things without thinking too much, and just going into them with an open mind and learning along the way.
Yeah. And so when you were doing this kind of like exploration, like you listed so many things that you were like kind of like, I did this, I did that, I did those, and then I went here, and I was like, oh my goodness, like this is it. This is the like I'm meant for more, and this is the more.
Yeah.
It must have been quite a feat to leave such a clear path. So what was the pull that made you like actually like make the leap, but actually pursue specifically this kind of like intersection of like community and entrepreneurship and social impact?
I think because growing up, those kind of things were part of my life somehow, one way or another. My kind of scientific, more like STEM related background was just kind of a bit distant from what I actually like as a human being. And I've always thought that I had to keep both of them separate somehow. Like, this is what I'm interested in, I'll do it in my free time, but this is what I have studied, so I'll just go work in a lab for the rest of my life. But then, like, I think when I transitioned into this new career path, I don't think I'm not leaving my past life behind. I'm utilizing all the skills that I have received from that. So, for example, I feel like one of my strengths as an entrepreneur at the moment is the fact that I have analytical thinking and research-based background, because it taught me how to like research things from different perspectives, how to read, how to like read through articles, how to analyze things, how to kind of just manage a project that is kind of multi-dimensional instead of like just one, because when you're working on research or in the medical field, that's how it is. It's like you're not working with just one discipline, you're just kind of combining so many all at once. So I think probably the origin story is probably like if I go back in time a little bit, when I was 19 or something, I had a business idea, but no one actually took me seriously. I remember it was like an R2B idea, because I wanted to blend both science and business, but then I didn't really know how. And every single person I talked to would be like, no, this is too complex, or it's too advanced. And back then I didn't really know how to do it. So I think probably all the steps that I have taken in my life the past couple of years were kind of leading me to the moment where I actually know how to make that R2B actually happen. And now, like, I actually formulated a business plan for that one in the background, it's just waiting for the right moment, basically the right super PhD supervisor to take me on, and then make it happen.
Super interesting. So what I'm hearing, okay, so you already had like kind of a business idea at 19, then you kind of are like, okay, well, maybe it's not for me, I'll just do the whole like normal career path thing. But you also brought up a couple of times about what like having this like kind of like almost like two separate identities, in a way that you have this like scientist you that is doing the traditional, the thing you're supposed to do, and then there's the like what you actually enjoy as a human. If someone who's listening to this episode like recognizes in themselves that what they're doing currently professionally and what they actually enjoy as a human being are like two separate things, and maybe they're considering like, is this, you know, do I want to keep on going like this? Because of course for some people it's a deliberate choice and this is fine, but like what would you tell them about, or like would tell yourself maybe at 19 or currently if you were to start over and you were like again faced with the same decision?
I think be brave. I think we're always like so scared of taking that step towards what we actually want to do. And I think I got to where I am right now because I was brave and didn't really like say no to any opportunities that came my way. And like I am where I am right now because I have so many stories about me just kind of going into stuff head first, and then it actually works. So and it actually ends up being the best experience that I've ever had. So I think just kind of removing that fear of trying
Yeah.
something new, or actually like taking that step out of your comfort zone and actually trying that thing that you've always wanted to try, or that business idea that you wanted to develop but didn't really know how to, or like you were too scared to do it. I think just do it.
Yep.
Like the thinking, the panicking and the fear, just do it. Yeah, this is not an advertisement for is it Nike or yeah, but so it's more like you can be scared later on. Basically, you can figure things along the way. I think this is more like also a growth mindset or like a startup mindset that we also teach to entrepreneurs as well. It's like you kind of leap in first and then figure out as you go.
Was there ever any like kind of like a marker of like, this is important enough for me or interesting enough for me to explore? Or did you just like literally say yes to anything? You're like, oh, a project, I don't care what it is, I'm gonna try it out. Because I feel like you have this like sense of like knowing yourself and like what matters to you. Some people might be more lost, some people might be like you. So like, what was your process around like selecting?
I think the process was like initially, I think what I did is that I started volunteering at so many stuff, and I think this is maybe something that many people, many international students also go through this path, where they like go and volunteer at many events, and just to get the experience, to get access, for example, to get networks and so on. For me, it was just I wanted to see how these things work. Like I was just curious, and like I really enjoyed them, of course. But then I started feeling a bit like maybe tired of going to so many stuff that are quite repetitive, and like I wasn't really getting the full value of it. So I started maybe strategizing a bit more about how, like, where should I go, what spaces should I put myself into, based on what I want to develop in myself as a human being or like as a professional. So I think the kind of the determining moment for the past couple of years for myself was there was one decision that I took in the moment, which was on a random Tuesday in November 2024 basically. There was elections happening at Helsinki Think Company.
Yes.
And I had no like interest whatsoever to be a chairperson of any association. I didn't even know how associations work at that point. I was just like, having a day, and then I was like, okay, I received an email and it said like they have the elections and it's open to the association members, and of course I'm an alumni of their program, so I was like, why not go? Like, why not? Like, I have nothing to do, so I'm just gonna go. And I went there, I sat, and like there were like a few people pitching themselves for the chairperson role, and they asked if there was someone in the audience who would like to like nominate themselves. And then it was that moment, it's like I don't know if someone plays video games, there's usually like sometimes you need to answer a question in a video game, and you have like
the dialogue
you have like a dialogue option, and you have a time. It's time frames like 3 seconds.
It's like ticking.
Yeah, it's like ticking. If you don't answer, you get the wrong answer. So I just like directly just lifted my hand, and I was like, you know what? Why not? I was like, why not? Lift my hand, go there in the front. I was like, look, I'm just gonna freestyle this. I haven't prepared anything, but I just started talking about what I have been doing in the past couple of years. The going to the events, exploring, the networks I've created, the ideas that I've had, the kind of also the transition from one career to another. And guess what? I became chairperson. And then I went home, like I was voted to be chairperson. I went home that day, like on the way home, I was just like sitting on the bus and thinking like, I never would have thought that the moment I left home, that this would have happened.
Yeah.
But then since that moment, like everything else just started kind of unfolding. Like I became the chairperson. I started working with different entrepreneurship societies around the country. I started going to more conferences, but then as an attendee, not as a volunteer. I started like getting more recognition. I started building like different kinds of ideas, and that's where the splash actually came up. Like it was an idea that I don't know, like I had it in January actually, like when I started as chairperson in Helsinki Think Company, I was like, why hasn't anyone done something like this?
Yeah.
And then I started like kind of checking with people and like asking
and
around.
What was this at this point?
It was just an idea.
You're just like, I need people like this to be in the same room.
Yes. Yes.
Can you expand a
It
little
was
bit?
just
Like,
an
what was the
idea.
original idea?
Like the original
Like,
idea.
what was the pitch?
Yeah, it's like I just wanted, like, because what I was thinking is that when I started as a chairperson at Helsinki Think Company, I saw that there are lots of talents in these entrepreneurship societies around the country, and lots of programs that are happening kind of just separately from each other. There are lots of programs, lots of accelerators, incubators, and whatever, but then we don't really showcase them to each other. We don't really have stuff that, like, we bring everyone together into one room, because most of the stuff that bring people together to one room are usually the kind of the really big conferences for huge founders or investors or people who are quite advanced in their journey or people who have already raised. So it's like, I was like, but what about the kind of the early talents that are like just building with their own ESs or building within their own communities? Why don't we put them in one room? And I started like asking questions, of course, like to different people, and most people were like, yeah, people didn't make it happen because it's difficult to negotiate with this many people. And I was like, guess what? I love the challenge.
It's gonna be me.
Yeah, actually, maybe I can show this. Can you give me the laptop?
We're breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, this is literally how it started. Like I made
the original
pitch. Like after January, like in March, there was this icebreaker where all ESs or like a few board members from different ESs would meet and just like discuss stuff. And we came up with this. Like we were like, okay, I told them about the idea, and then we called it the Splash, and then it was literally like just this one-pager Canva. Like, I don't know if it's clear on the camera, but it's like one-pager Canva that had like a boat or like a ship in the middle. I put the names basically of who I'd want. When is it going to be? Summer. I wanted like to be at the end of the summer or beginning of autumn. Where? The sea. Budget. I put like a random budget that I had in mind and
something.
Yeah, just like put all the stakeholders that could potentially be part of it. So it's like it just started as that basically. Like I didn't have a plan. I didn't have like anything in mind about how to make all of this happen. I just knew that this was a challenge that I wanted to take on, like, and then like just to explore it, because it's like there's a reason that this hasn't been happening, and there's a reason that we're not like coming all together to do stuff. But yeah, that's how.
I tend to say that like if it was easy, someone would have already made it happen.
Exactly.
Or built it.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Yeah.
And I do have some fun tidbits about the first Splash, because you launched the first edition of the Splash with a broken foot.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think it shows like such
all good
dedication. Now. All good, all healed. How do you feel about when people are like, break a leg? And you're
like literally.
Been there, done that, slayed it. But a departure from that though. But I thought there was such a cool like plug-in for this, like that you can do hard things while also being somewhat injured. But kind of like doing a tiny dip back into your background as a scientist. What do you think have been the kind of like transferable skill sets that you didn't expect would be there, but you're like, oh, easy peasy because I did this back in academia? Like, do you have any that you're currently 100%. Using as a co-founder and like operator of this like massive conference?
I think it's like it's the like when you're a scientist, you basically create lots of these big experiments that take into consideration like this. It's quite similar to project management, I would say, or like when you're coming up with a market research strategy or something like that. It's quite like similar. It's similar kind of logic that is used when you're doing research. I feel like I think I mentioned also early on that like the analytical thinking of that I had as a researcher as well before has been like a huge asset. I think also the ability to actually do research with just being able to look at things from different perspectives. And usually that's what you do as a researcher. You just go and look for so many papers to understand what is this problem, and then you create a hypothesis, and then from the hypothesis you do some testing, and then you basically get to results. And that's literally what you do when you're building a business. It's like you have a hypothesis, or like you have a problem statement, and then you start validating, you start asking people around, you start testing ideas. And there's like lots of theories in business that are based on like build, measure, and test and reiterate. So it's literally exactly what we do in research, but it's just different words, different context, you know? So I feel like the fact that I've done research before, it just became like kind of almost like the common sense that things happen this way.
I think these are often undervalued skill sets 100%. That might be like difficult to recognize, because you think like, because for you it already comes like as a routine, or like naturally you're like, well, of course everyone knows how to do this. And then you start doing it, then maybe at some point you'll notice that what is obvious to you isn't obvious to everyone else.
That's true.
So this is super cool to hear, like how you're applying the same kind of thinking to
and I think that same kind of thinking also applies to political context and social context, and that's why you can see that I'm doing like I have multiple projects that I've been part of within different in different fields, but then I know for a fact they all have the same framework. You know, you have like when you buy a phone, most phones have probably similar kind of features that they have built inside, but then they look different. But then they all have those components, and this is exactly how I see those different fields. Like I approach them with the same mindset, and I've noticed that like knowing that they have this same framework has made it so easy for me to even like be part of any kind of project, basically. So,
I think that's how you the secret to switching fields and pivoting fields is literally understanding like what about me I can like take and plop into a different context.
Exactly.
Now, as like originally planned in your early stage plan, Splash is taking place in August, so it is the late summer. Yay! And it's happening in Helsinki. And as said in the very beginning, we are partners in this endeavor now. But what does success look like in August? So when we get there, when we meet in the Splash, what is it going to be like? Can you paint the picture?
Yeah, definitely. So like as you explained at the very beginning about the Splash, like it's a space for students and early stage entrepreneurs, and it's a space that kind of shifts the paradigm in a way that this time the people who usually are at the back of the rooms or the ones who are volunteers in those big conferences are the one who are at the center of this event. They're the ones who receive attention. They're the ones who get the program tailored for them so that they can come and learn, and like we kind of lower the threshold for them to actually come and get very similar quality to what they could get from these very, very like big conferences that they usually don't really get to go to. And like I think now we have designed the program in a way that like we have created KPIs for ourselves on how to know that our event has succeeded, and it's based on like how many ideas were created during the event, how many founders have joined, how many students have been like kind of realized that they're interested in starting like a company after the event, and then after that like the success kind of continues and the journey continues. It's not just an event. It's like we want to make sure that those people who are building during the Splash continue building and continue like growing as professionals, and we like help them go to the right target groups. So I think in a nutshell, like the Splash 2026 would be an event that would bring together over 1,000 people in one space, founders and early stage entrepreneurs and students, whether they're interested in entrepreneurship, whether they're exploring, whether they're transitioning to a new career, or founders who just started but then they don't really know how to kind of navigate this kind of world that is like there's so much information, so much happening. So we want to make sure that all of these people feel like this space is created for them, and that like they can come there and ask all the questions they have and meet people like them and create some sense of community around it so that people don't feel like they're alone basically when they join this world. Because like I said, there's so much happening, but then at the same time, are we really creating spaces that include everyone? Are those
and
accessible?
on that note,
yes, favorite topic.
I'm like, I will use this opportunity because we both know that the talent is already there.
Yes.
We have so many talented, amazing, both experienced and like soon to graduate, freshly graduated professionals in here, especially internationals. And like we both kind of exist for the same cause, right? With Horizon and the Splash. And so many of our community members, and I would think many of the listeners as well, might feel like very overlooked or stuck in this market. And of course, we all know that the market is just like generally kind of a nightmare currently. But then we definitely do see that there's still so much work to do for diversity in Finland. But from the talent perspective, what do you think is missing between the talent is here and then that the talent is employed and fully, leveraged for the skills and thinking that they have? Is it exactly like Splash, which brings people together? Is there anything that you're especially excited to bring as like knowledge or some kind of practical advice through the Splash this year?
I think like if we go to the root of human beings, we are social beings. So social beings like being in packs. They like to be in communities. And there are smaller communities being created, but then many of those don't work out, for example, or people feel overlooked, like you said. Many feel very exclusive. At least this is from my personal experience. Like I was like, I wanted to create spaces where people feel like they're part of something because I didn't feel like I was part of some stuff that were happening. And I don't want people to feel that feeling. So there are lots of talented individuals out there and lots of amazing people who have so many skills, but then they don't really know how to utilize it. There's so many stuff happening all the time. They don't know where to go. They don't know which event they should sign up to. Should they sign up to everything and go to everything and burn themselves out? Or should they be strategic with where they should go? And even if you want to be strategic, it's very difficult for you to be strategic. So it's like, there's so much happening, and like, it's so confusing, even for us people who are like, I don't know, I wouldn't consider myself a veteran in the entrepreneurship world, but at least someone who has been part of it for a couple of years now. I know that it's confusing and very tiring, and especially with the job market being the way that it is. I can see like lots of people shifting towards entrepreneurship, but then they don't really know how to be part of the entrepreneurial world. So I think this is where the Splash comes in. It's like we're trying to maybe ease that transition, because like you don't expect people to create successful companies if you're not creating the right spaces for them to be able to create those. And we want to be that space, whether here in Finland, whether internationally. Like we have had international conversations like since last year, and we saw that it's not just a problem we have here in Finland. It's a problem that is taking place in many European countries, Asian countries, African countries, the US, Canada. So it's like many of them are like struggling to get to these talents, or like the talents are struggling to get to the right places that they need to be. So now when we lower the threshold, and this time we bring the experts, the investors, and then we bring the talents, as in the founders and the students and the early stage entrepreneurs. We bring them in one place and actually have them sit together on the same level.
I love have them sit together. Not just like same space.
No, have them sit together on the same level. No one is on a pedestal. Everyone is just having honest conversations. Everyone is mentoring each other. Everyone is learning from one another. This is how we actually utilize our community and create this sense of community that actually like focuses on helping each other and focuses on growth and focuses on kind of just going forward. Basically. So I think this is at the core of what we do, and this is like a topic that we discuss internally with our team, and like everyone is so aware of how the job market is and aware of the target group that we're trying to reach. It's not easy to reach, of course, because everyone like is like there's so much happening, so we don't know where to go to. But I think it's like we have a long breath. We know that we're doing something good. So with time, we will be able to help the right people and be able to get the message out and be able to like grow our community and so on.
You're definitely playing the long game.
I am. I usually play the long game with everything I do, to be honest. Like I'm like, of course, it's nice to have results quickly. But I think probably I got this from my research background, because in research you need to do experiments.
Yes.
And some experiments take a long time, and validating takes a long time. Optimizing takes a long time in an experiment. So it's like I have this long breath. I can be patient, but I know the long game gets you somewhere.
And what is like if we dream for a tiny moment?
Okay. The Lulu mode on.
The Lulu mode on. Activate. And we play the long game. Where are we gonna be with the splash, or with like building a better kind of like startup ecosystem in Finland? What is it gonna look like?
Yes. So honestly, it's something that we've discussed many times internally, and I don't think it's a delulu. It's exactly what we want to do, and this is our goal as a team. We want it to be the go-to global movement for students and early stage entrepreneurs. So like it's not going to just stay in Finland. It's something that we want to bring to different countries. We've done research on it. We know that there's a gap in the market when it comes to events that are, or like a conference, actually like a big scale flagship event that is targeted towards this specific target group. There's probably just one in EU at the moment, and probably no one even knows about it. So like I think we're positioned in a very interesting market, and you can see that there is a gap. Of course, we're not there to replace any of the services that exist. We're the bridge that takes people from point A to point B. So like if we say that we want people to go from -1 to 1, maybe we're the 0. We're the 0. We're the bridge. Like for you to actually go to getting an investment or becoming a unicorn, because there's lots of statistics out there, lots of studies about companies not succeeding, or we want to make more successful companies, but then there aren't really
like who's actually like creating the circumstances or like
so I want to be that, whether in Finland, in the EU, in the world. Like we want to create communities around the world that welcomes people no matter their background, and they come and build and learn. And of course, like there are programs that do that, but then they don't do it the way we do. They don't do it with the mission that we have.
What is the way that you do it?
This is how we do it.
If you summarize like really like tightly, like what sets the splash apart?
What sets it apart? Well, like I think I said it before, but we put the people who are usually in the back, we put them in the front. And like we're actually like, and then this is, I don't want it to sound like a cliche or anything, but we're literally looking at the future entrepreneurs. Like lots of, I feel like lots of the programs that we have are targeted towards a certain group of people. And if you're not, or you don't fit into that group of people that usually get access to that, you end up being marginalized. And we don't want that to happen.
No margins here.
No margins here. We take everyone. And we want everyone to feel like this is home for them. And this is where they can come and build and feel like they're part of something. We're lowering the barriers, lowering the threshold. And basically, like if you look at our pricing, for example, we've designed it in a way that you can pay for it as a student. Like when I was a student, I wouldn't be able to pay for like an event that is over 100 euros. Or like over 50 euros even. So like our prices are student friendly, early stage entrepreneur friendly, like someone who hasn't raised any capital. So like you can't, for example, pay the startup ticket 150 euros to go and attend something, but then you can pay 29 and come and get the same quality and of the talks, get to talk to interesting people, get to talk to investors, get feedback, get to sit with people who are like you in one space from all over the country, and I don't know, get the full experience that is for you, basically.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. All right. Mic drop. Okay.
I can drop this.
We'll start to wrap this one up. And I have a question that I always ask to kind of like put a neat little bow or the cherry on top the conversation. So if listeners of this episode were to remember just one thing, or maybe three, up to three, because usually it's more than one. But if they were to remember or walk away with 1 to 3 things after listening to this episode today, what would you like those to be? Whether it's about like building a presence, pivoting, building something entirely new, a new career path, or like expecting more from your society.
Yeah, I'll give you one for all those.
I love it.
So one for each. So one is for people who are thinking about switching careers or like thinking of trying something new. Do it. Don't think about it. Do it. And then the second one is for people who are waiting for the right moment to, for example, launch something or start working on their business or something like that. Don't wait for the right moment because it will never come. Like literally. Like this is a life lesson that I follow in life. Like literally, like if I wait for the right moment, it's not going to come. Because you're always going to be like a perfectionist and want everything to look really, really good. This is why the MVP concept even exists, because minimum viable product. So it could be like just a scrap. Do it. Bring it on. And then 3, if you are interested in what entrepreneurship is, if you've ever thought of building a business, if you are building something but then don't know where to go, who to talk to, you don't have the networks, you haven't had the chance to pitch in front of people, come to the Splash, because it was created for people who are like you. So
amazing. Yes. And where can people find you and Splash if they want more of these insights or more information?
Yeah, well, I'm on LinkedIn, so you can always reach me on LinkedIn at Ala Benkeruf. And the Splash is on, we have a website, so thesplashforum.com. You can find us there. You can also sign up on the website and get the chance to talk to the people who are also part of the website, and you can build your schedule for the event there. You can also find us on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and like we're everywhere. And you can find us in person.
At the Splash.
Yes.
So be there. Okay, cool. Hey, amazing.
Thank 28th, 29th of August.
28th to 29th August.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Ala, for having this conversation, taking the time to come here and sharing your journey and what the Splash is all about. And so for our listeners, thank you so much for joining again and listening in. And we'll catch you at the next episode of Sisu and Slay.
Yay!
Yay! And now we do the Sisu and Slay.
What is that?
No, you put up
the S?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
Yes. I was like, okay,
that's going to be the thumbnail.
Potato.